Good morning, students. Hope you watched the revision video of lesson number 2, India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. In that video, we took information about the local dynasties of India and the invasions from the northeast, as well as we took some information about the Vijayanagar and the Bahamani kingdom. Today, we are going to learn some information about the Mughal power. Babur was the founder of Mughal power. He founded Mughal Empire in 1526 CE. Actually, he was a king of Fargana. It is in a Central Asia. It is situated in today's Uzbekistan. See in this map, at the northwest side of the India, Uzbekistan is situated. Seen? Okay. He had heard the wealth in India, so he planned to attack on India. That time, Ibrahim Khan Lodhi was the king of Delhi Sultanate and Daulat Khan Lodhi was the governor of Punjab. The relation between Ibrahim Khan Lodhi and the Daulat Khan Lodhi was strained. So, Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to attack on India. Who invited? Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to attack on India. Taking the advantages of this situation, Babur attack on India. Battle of Panipat. To repel the invasion of the Babur or attack of Babur, Ibrahim Khan Lodi started battle with the Babur. On 21st April 1526 CE, there was a battle between Ibrahim Khan Lodi and Babur at Panipat. This battle is known as First Battle of Panipat. In between whom and when, where, it is very important. On 21st April 1526 CE, there was a battle between Ibrahim Khan Lodi and Babur at Panipat. This battle was known as the Battle of Panipat. This battle had great impact on Indian history. In this battle, Babur made use of an artillery effectively for a first time in India. Yes, shown to you in this figure, Babur's artillery. Babur defeated Ibrahim Khan Lodi in this battle. Lot of soldiers died in this battle. See in this picture shown to you. Yes, first picture shown to you, many soldiers were died in a battle, and in a second picture shown to you that the artillery of Babur. Understood? Battle of Khanwa. After the Battle of Panipat, Rana Sangha of a Mewad brought all Rajput kings together. There was a battle between Rajput kings or Rana Sangha at one side and on another side Babur at the Khanwa. Babur's artillery and the reserve force played a key role in this battle. Babur made a plan to defeat the Rana Sangha's army. He made a group of his soldiers. Yes, he made two groups of his army or soldiers. First group started battle with the Rana Sangha's army. When the both soldiers were tired that time, second group surprisingly attack on the Rana Sangha's army. This leads to defeat of Rana Sangha. Understood? It is known as reserve force. See in this photo, yes, it is a photo of a Babur. He was a founder of Mughal Empire. He was a king of Fargana area. It is situated in today's Uzbekistan. He won the Battle of Panipat and Battle of Khanwa in India. He died in 1530 CE. After Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb were the important kings in a Mughal power. Second Battle of Panipat occurred between Akbar and Hemu. After Shah Jahan became the king in a Mughal empire, his wife Nur Jahan played a key role in administration. Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal for Nur Jahan. Aurangzeb was the last important king in a Mughal empire. This is a brief summary of a Mughal empire. We are going to learn this history in a detail this year. Okay. Oppositions to the Akbar. See in this photo. Yes, this is a photo of King Akbar. Akbar was the most powerful king of Mughal Empire. Everyone of you familiar with his name. Many movies are there based on Akbar. For example, Jodha Akbar. Everyone of you seen. Akbar tried to bring all India under his control, so he started the battle. Due to this, he had to face oppositions from the Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, and Rani Durgavati. Let's learn their information. First one, Maharana Pratap. Who is he? Maharana Pratap was the son of Uday Singh. After the death of his father, he became the king of Mewad. He continued the struggle for the Mewad's existence. Till end of him, struggle with the Akbar continued by the Maharana Pratap for the independence. He has become immortal in Indian history. The meaning of immortal in Marathi is Amar. The qualities of Maharana Pratap were very important. Many times question will be asked on this part. What qualities did Maharana Pratap have? Yes, the important qualities of Maharana Pratap were first one courage, self respect, valor, and the last one is sacrifice. Which qualities he have? First one courage, second one self respect, third one valor, and the fourth one is sacrifice. So you have to know the qualities of Maharana Pratap. The next one is Chand Bibi. Who is Chand Bibi? Chand Bibi was a capable daughter of Hussein Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar. Mughal attack on Ahmednagar in 1595 CE. Mughal army put a siege to the Ahmednagar fort. Chand Bibi bravely defended the fort. But there was a internal conflict or internal struggle between the Sardars of Ahmednagar. It leads to the murder of Chand Bibi. And after the death of Chand Bibi, Mughal conquered the Ahmednagar fort. Till the Chand Bibi was alive, Mughal could not succeed in a Ahmednagar fort. That's why we have to know the history of Chand Bibi. Answer in a one word. Yes, who was Chand Bibi? Chand Bibi was a daughter of Hussein Nizam Shah. The next one, oppositions to the Akbar was Rani Durgavati. Rani Durgavati was a queen of Gondwana. Generally, some part of Vidarbha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Orissa is known as Gondwana. Rani Durgavati, born in Chandel Rajput dynasty in North India, she became a queen of Gondwana when she married. She was an excellent administrator. She was very brave. After the death of her husband, she continued struggle against the Mughal. A fight of a queen against the powerful king of Mughal with limited sources was memorable in Indian history. So we have to know the history about Rani Durgavati. Rani Durgavati was a queen of Gondwana. Aurangzeb became the king in 1658 CE. See in this picture. Yes, the first picture or photo shown to you of Aurangzeb. And in a second one, the empire of Aurangzeb shown to you. He was a king of a large empire. Yes, when he became the king. But he started expanding empire. See in this map, Aurangzeb have a large empire. Though he have the large empire, he started attack on a different area. From a north side, from Kashmir to Allahabad in a south, Aurangzeb's empire was there. Then Aurangzeb started the campaigns in Assam as well as South India. Their information we will learn. The conflict with Ohams. Yes, the Ohams are situated in a Assam area. What is mean by conflict? First one, conflict means struggle. Yes, conflict means struggle. What is mean by Ohams? In a 13th century, people from the Shan community settled down in a valley of Brahmaputra river. They were locally known as Ohams. Ohams means the people who are living in a Assam in a Brahmaputra river's valley. At that time, Aurangzeb was a king. He started the struggle with the Ohams in Assam. There was a long fight in between Ohams and the Mughal empires. Yes, in between whom? Mughal and Ohams battle prolonged a prolonged means a long time there was a battle in between Ohams and the Mughals. Ohams united under the leadership of Gadadhar Singh. Who was the leader of Ohams? Gadadhar Singh was the leader of the Ohams and Lachit Badphukan was the commander of the Oham. Who was the commander? Lachit Badphukan was the commander of Ohams. Ohams used the guerrilla tactics in a battle. Due to this, it became impossible for the Mughals to create a strong base in Assam. The question will be there, why it was impossible for the Mughals to create a strong base in Assam? Because Ohams used guerrilla tactics in the battle. Due to this, it became the impossible for the Mughals to create a strong base in Assam. The question is in your mind that what is meant by guerrilla tactics? See in this picture. Some battle pictures are shown to you. It is a one type of battle technique. What is meant by guerrilla tactics? It is a one type of battle technique. In this technique, they use the surprise attack. Sometimes they use geographical things to trap the enemies in between two mountains and afterwards they attack. Sometimes they trap the enemies in a particular place. Understood? You know that this type of technique was used by Shivaji Maharaj in Maharashtra. It is known as Ganimi Kawa. in Marathi. Conflict with the Sikhs. Guru Tegh Bahadur was the ninth Guru of Sikhs. He strongly protested against the Aurangzeb's policy of religious intolerance. So Aurangzeb punished him. Guru Tegh Bahadur imprisoned and beheaded. Beheaded means cut the head. Guru Tegh Bahadur was killed by Aurangzeb. Shown to you in this picture how the Aurangzeb troubled to Guru Tegh Bahadur and how they cut the head of Guru Tegh Bahadur. See carefully. After Guru Tegh Bahadur, Guru Gobind Singh became the 10th Guru of Sikhs. He organized the Sikh youth in a fighting force called as Khalsa Dal. What is meant by Khalsa Dal? Yes, Guru Gobind Singh organized the Sikh youths in a fighting force. It is called as Khalsa Dal. The headquarters of the Khalsa Dal was at Anandpur in a Punjab. So Aurangzeb sent his army to attack on a Anandpur. Sikhs fought bravely but did not succeed. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji came in a Deccan in 1708 CE. He reached to the Nanded in a Deccan. That time Mughal army attacked on a Guru Gobind Singh. In that battle he was wounded and afterwards died. So Gurudwara built in Nanded, shown to you in this picture. I think everyone of you saw the Gurudwara of Nanded. Nanded had a great history against the Mughal. The next one is conflict with the Rajputs. Akbar secured some cooperation of Rajput, but Aurangzeb could not. After the death of Rana Jaswant Singh, Aurangzeb annexed his kingdom. Yes, he wanted to take the kingdom of Jaswant Singh after his death. But commander of Jaswant Singh was Durgadas Rathod. Durgadas Rathod coronated minor son of Jaswant Singh as a king. Name of him was Ajit Singh and fought hardly against the Mughal. Prince Akbar joined hands with the Durgadas Rathod. This is not a King Akbar. This is a Prince Akbar. Prince Akbar was a son of Aurangzeb. He wanted to become a king, so he rebelled against the Aurangzeb and joined hands with Durgadas Rathod. Afterwards, Prince Akbar ran from Durgadas Rathod and joined hands with the Marathas, but Durgadas Rathod continued his struggle for the Marwad's existence. The conflict with the Marathas. Yes, Shivaji Maharaj established the Swaraj and Sambhaji Maharaj, Maharani Tarabai and the Peshwa continued it. Here we will learn some information about the Shivaji Maharaj, their battles, how the Aurangzeb came in a Deccan after the death of Shivaji Maharaj and the struggle of Maharani Tarabai against the Mughal Empire. After the Maharani Tarabai, how the Peshwas continued the struggle against the Mughal and won the area of a different places. Their information we are going to learn this year. So we will not learn here in a detail. Okay. What we learned today? We learned some information about Mughal power. We took some information about the Battle of Panipat and the Khanwa. Yes, how the Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi and Rani Durgavati strongly opposed to the Akbar. At last, we learned some conflict of the Aurangzeb against the Oham, Rajput, Sikhs and the Marathas. Hope you understood this lesson. Many names of the kings, places are there in this lesson. It was very hard to keep in your mind. So, read this lesson 2 times and write some important information on the pages. Okay? Religious synthesis we will learn in a next lesson. Okay? Thank you.